We are back with Aaron from Flippfly Studios. Aaron, I saw you over the past few years. We've done Race the Sun. You just put out Evergarden, and now you put out a game called Cats Fly Helicopters. In a nutshell, what is this game all about?
Yeah, so it's a physics sandbox game. I mean, Cats Fly Helicopters is basically exactly what it sounds like. So, you are a cat, you fly a helicopter around town, you do a variety of tasks like put out fires and deliver pizzas and do newspaper routes and medevac people, and you can jump out of your helicopter and jump on a trampoline or throw frisbees or, talk to the neighbors or play catch. It's just kind of a big omni game in an open world city, I guess.
Yeah. And you've never made an open world game before, as far as I remember. What were the new challenges of trying to create a world where players can do whatever they want?
Everything. I mean, we had never made a game with kind of a realistically scaled 3D environment, and so this is a new thing to us. We never done a game with more than one minimalist character in it. Character design is a new thing. It's a flight simulator with lots of physics, so lots of things go wrong, and there's just lots of moving parts. And so it's been a challenge to just maintain everything to the point where it's playable at any given time, let alone fun.
You were discussing earlier when we were off camera about the effort that you paid to making sure that the flying feels right. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so, we set out to make this game. We had done this prototype showdown thing on our website where our fans got to vote on a bunch of our prototypes, and we would pick the winner and make that into our next project. And so the winning prototype was called Taxicopter. And it was this little weekend jam game I had made where you're a helicopter flying around in a city. So this won the prototype showdown. We set out to make it. And then our friend John was working on his own helicopter game. And John is an aerospace engineer, and so he's like a total flight sim geek. Right. And, so we started talking about whether we could collaborate on something. And, long story short, that's what we're doing. So John's helped us build like a really authentic flight model for helicopters. And then I've taken my experience with game design and making things accessible, and we've kind of put that together and come up with a control scheme that feels fun and relatively easy to pick up, but is kind of built on top of this authentic feeling movement.
What kind of inspired the art design? Because this game is adorable, but really inviting.
Right. Yeah, and I've been working on character design for a long time, and my brother Forrest is our primary artist, but I brought my characters to this game, and they're just, kind of cute cats with noodly arms, and they just run around and, do funny stuff, I guess. So, that came together with Forrest's design sense of making a, kind of low poly, colorful world, and we're trying to make something that's like, that feels optimistic and happy, So one of the elements of the game is going to be that there'll be neighborhoods, and when you finish activities there that are positive, it'll like make the neighborhood happiness level go up. And so this is like one of your goals in the game is to make all the neighborhoods in the game happy, So it's just all about like, having a positive impact on the world and making people happy.
Or alternatively, you can run around and throw water balloons at other cats.
Yeah, start water balloon fights, and if you crash your helicopter, it'll explode into flames, and then, you can leave it burn or put it out and stuff like that. So it's definitely a game that you can kind of control how it plays out.
What is the story to the game? And also just why cats? Why cats in helicopters?
Sure. So the story is that you are a young cat in a family of scrap collectors. And so your parents have helped you build a homemade helicopter kit, and you will start out with that and then kind of help out the family business by flying around town and picking up scrap. And then you'll take the scrap back to your home base junkyard, and your parents will like craft it into better equipment for your helicopter. So that's the story we're working with. Why cats? I don't know. Why not? It's just the tone of the game, when we kind of started working on it, and all these funny physics things kind of started happening, and we thought it'd be fun to lean into that and, add more explosions and physics and stuff. And eventually it was like, this would be a lot more funny if there were animals and not people, So let's make anthropomorphic animals, and, we like cats, so... Why not? Yeah.
And this is an open world game pretty much for everyone. This is family friendly open world exploration.
Yeah. And, I really like games like GTA and stuff just because it's fun to be in a big simulated world, Zelda Breath of the Wild is the same thing. It's fun to interact with systems, It's like you can throw a thing in the water and it floats, and that's kind of cool, or, throw something that's burning in the water and it goes out. There's not a whole lot of games that are family friendly that have that aspect to them, and so I'm really excited to work on something like that.
Now, I understand that Cats Fly Helicopters is not the only game you're working on right now. What can you tell me about the recently released 12th Smith?
Right, so 12 Smith was a game that came out of our last game, Evergarden, and our friend Phil Dotry was talking to us. I was complaining that somebody was going to clone Evergarden. Evergarden is a $5 game on mobile, and Phil was like, well, maybe you guys should just clone it yourselves, and put it out there for free, and then you can cash in on it, And the idea is like, take just the essence of the game and make a simpler, more accessible version of it. It turned into 12 Smith, and it kind of has the core mechanics of Evergarden in that you're combining things on a hexagon grid and then spreading them kind of like a garden. It's all numbers and just very abstract, and it's very boiled down and simple. $1.99 mobile game.
iOS, Android, or where is this?
Yeah, it'll be iOS and Android. So the thing we're trying right now is we just launched a Patreon, and if people haven't heard of it, Patreon is kind of like a Kickstarter, except it's a monthly thing. And so, monthly subscription, $5 a month will get you access to the private beta of Cats Fly Helicopters, and then eventually we'll launch it on Steam Early Access, but this is kind of like the way to get in on the ground floor and tell us what you like and don't like, and vote for what you want in the game. And then the other thing we're doing with our Patreon is we're making one tiny game every month. And so Forrest and I, we can crank out pretty fun stuff pretty quickly. So, we're going to make one tiny game a month, and our Patreon backers at $10 a month and above will be able to vote on those. And so, like this first one, we had like a disc golf game or a trampoline park, and people are voting for trampoline park. So that's what we're going to make like next week. And then, May 1st, that'll be available for people. So we're pretty excited to do that. It's just kind of a continuation of our community involvement efforts and stuff like that. Oh, and the other thing we're doing is we're making a updated version of Race the Sun called Race the Sun Challenge Edition. Already available in beta on mobile, but we're going to make a exclusive PC version for our Patreon backers. $5 and up, and you'll get that too. So
for people that want to check out Cats Fly Helicopters later on, what platforms are you targeting right now? Yeah,
so the plan is to get it to Steam Early Access this summer. So 3 to 6 months from now should be available there, and then I'm hoping we can work on it for 6 to 12 months more, add a bunch more stuff, and get lots of feedback. And then we'll probably, we haven't announced other platforms, but I'm thinking we'll probably do the big 3 consoles, so.
Well, Aaron, always a pleasure. I can't wait to play as a cat and fly a helicopter. Thank you very much. Try again. Okay.